Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I'm excited about this live today. I'm going to talk very simply about how to make the transition from working for someone else to working for yourself. It's huge, huge, huge. How to make that transition from working for others, someone else, your employer, to deciding I am now going to work for myself. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I got started in my company about 26 years ago. And I simply made that decision. I wanted to figure out how I could leverage my professional background as a corporate trainer, my skills, my education, my experience, my expertise. And I wanted to package it into my own business as a service and help others. Now, like most entrepreneurs, when we get started, you're not exactly sure. The idea is simply an idea, and you have to kind of give it some shape and some form. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today because I have today coached thousands of women and helped many of them be able to figure this part out. And I'm going to help you figure it out too. I've got 5 simple steps. I want you to hang in until the end, and you likely will need something to write with because it'll get you to think a little bit more differently about what it is that you do. Now, here's the thing. This is going to be for you if you professionally are looking to create some kind of transition for yourself. Maybe you want to start your coaching or consulting business, or you're building some licensed content on the side. And you might want to do it because maybe you're going to transition to your own business, or maybe you want to have additional income, a different income stream, or maybe it's just you're not doing professionally all that you want to do in your purpose, and you want to use your skills in a different way. It's going to be for you if any of those scenarios are for you. Now, it's also going to be for you if you are ready to live and do things outside of the box, because a lot of times when we're smart and sharp and talented, we've been so inside the box forever that when we think about building a business based on what we're purposed to do, sometimes it's a little scary. So we're going to hang from the skinny branch today. And if you're ready to hang from that skinny branch with me, I want you to write, I'm ready, even if you're watching the replay. For those of you who are just joining me, I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant. I got started in my company 20 plus years ago, and I made a decision, like many have to, that I wanted to be fully expressed. I wanted to be able to do work that allowed me to be in a congruent and aligned with my highest skill. I felt that professionally I was doing work that I loved. I've always been really great at being able to help people through training and development get it, right? I was really just a great trainer in the corporate space, and I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to work with a different demographic, a different group of people. I wanted to create impact with my gifts. I wanted to see the echo of being able to change the lives of others. And I felt like while what I was doing professionally was great for the company, it wasn't the kind of echo or difference that I wanted to make in the lives of others with my skills. And maybe this is where you have found yourself as a result of me simply jumping and deciding today's the day. I decided to launch my coaching practice. And when I did, the very first thing I did was hire coaches that could support me in the modeling of what this could look like. You see, I was really great at what I knew how to do professionally, but I didn't know anything about building a coaching business. I didn't understand the business of coaching either and consulting. And so that was one of the first things that I decided to do, and it changed my life. As a result of making the decision to invest in myself and what I did not know, I was then able to build a business that's been transformative. And as a result of me being able to build that business, I've been able to give my children literally a world-class education. I've invested millions of dollars, literally millions of dollars in my kids from the time they were 4 years old and through college, just investing in their education through independent schools and college. And the best part is that there are no loans. 3 kids, no loans. How cool is that, right? And I know I say this to you because there are a lot of women that watch me, they're moms, and they want to give their family the best. But my philosophy has always been that if I give myself the best, if I invest in myself, my family, they're the benefactors of the investments that I've made. One of the greatest things that I wanted to be able to give my kids was my time. And I knew that working in a corporate structure that I would be working sort of that 9 to 7, not 9 to 5, 9 to 7 model. And I really wanted to be able to see everything as a mom. I wanted to be that cupcake mom, and I wanted to build that business that would allow me to do that. Now, today, what we're going to talk about is you. Okay. How do you make that transition from working for someone else to making the decision to build a business for yourself? And I had the goal of getting free, getting myself free through my business and staying free. And if you've ever had that thought and you're like, is that a possibility? It absolutely is. I've had many of my clients who've been able to do exactly the same thing as a result of what I have taught them. I've had clients who've made the decision to shut down their current business and move to a different region and live in a different country because they now have been able to take what they know and package it differently. And I'm going to talk about what these options are for you. See, running a business does exactly that. It creates options. And I want you to write options if you've been looking for just new options for yourself. And you're just trying to figure out what could it look like, you're going to love this. So let me just jump in. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to make that transition from working for someone else to working for yourself. I'll insert some of my story because as a result of me growing my coaching business, I had the opportunity to get signed to Emmy-nominated shows, which was just things that I didn't know would happen. On my coaching journey, I had the opportunity to do a number of strategic partnerships with large Fortune 100 and 500 brands with my thought leadership, using my frameworks. I've had the opportunity to coach thousands of women literally all around the globe, right, from the comfort of my home or anywhere that I choose. And I want you to know that what you know is exceptionally valuable when it's packaged the right way. So the very first thing you need to think about, I want you to write this down. If you want to make that transition from working for someone else to working for yourself, and this is even for you if you are, let's say you're a medical doctor and you're in a practice, but you're not as free as you'd like to be. Talking to you, okay? I'm talking to you also. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about your transition in terms of the way you're valuing what you're bringing to the world. A lot of times when we are thinking of starting a business for the very first time or a different type of business, we don't always value everything that comes with us. We're not properly valuing our education, our experience, our expertise. And I see this all the time. People who have 20, 30 years of experience, they're sharp and incredible, the go-to person in their workplace. And yet when they make that decision to start their own business, they feel like they're starting from the very beginning. Maybe that is you, okay? And the way it comes across is you are trying to build this exceptional business with your exceptional skills, but you're not believing all that you bring. You're not properly valuing what you bring. And so as a result of that, a lot of really awesome people who have great skill sets who are starting a business believe they need to start just like someone that has a lot less experience in them, and they position themselves from the very beginning the wrong way. And this is what it looks like. So if this is your scenario, I want to break this down. It looks like you are not bringing the customers through the door. It looks like the idea isn't landing the way that you thought. It looks like you're sitting at home with a lot of self-doubt and wondering, did I make the right decision starting this business? Or it looks like you're surveying the room, you're surveying your friends and others looking for validation. But I'm going to tell you right now, validation is for parking lots. When I started my business, I started as a mom coach. At the time that I started, the words mom and coaching didn't go together. Okay. So now we know in general what mom coaching is. There's a lot of different types of coaches. And if I were looking for validation around my idea, my concept, I would not have had the opportunity in that business to coach hundreds of women. Because my very first stop, I went to a small business resource center in my town, and I was told by the director of that small business resource center that no one would ever pay me to coach mothers because it was a new concept at that time. So I want you to understand that the very first thing to understand is how to value what you are bringing, your skills, your expertise, your ideas. You have this thought for a reason. and it was purposed inside of you. So the most important thing is knowing how to package your purpose. So for me, I realized that the only thing that I wanted to give the world, and the only thing that I've given the world as an entrepreneur, are the things that I've been purposed to do. It is the thing that is my mastery, my zone of genius. And the same is true for you. I want you to think about what are the things that you do all the time in your free time when no one's paying you, or, you're reading that extra chronicle or document. What is that? Right? What is that all about? Because likely your mastery is the thing that you just naturally do over and over again. And a lot of times we don't count that thing. And that because of it, it's often why we discount what it is that we are bringing to the table or the idea. Packaging your purpose, packaging the thing that I call your mastery. It's the thing that you could do in your sleep, right? So for me, I've always been really great about being able to take an idea, knowledge, skills, whether it's a hard skill like something that you've gotten a certification in or a degree in, or a soft skill, something that you've lived and created mastery around, and helping people find a way to structure it in the most profitable way. I can do it in my sleep. It's like I've helped so many clients really unwrap for themselves what it is inside of them that could be the niche that's the most profitable. Think about you. What is it that people come to you for, ask you advice about over and over again, who come back with the echo and they say to you over and over again, listen, what you told me the other day absolutely worked. I did it. Or I want to thank you because I did what you said. That is the thing that ought to be packaged. And likely it is packaging your purpose. Now, I want to tell you something. When you are exceptionally smart, brilliant, which I know you are if you're watching this, because I attract women who are smart and sharp and fully capable of just doing amazing things and already have. A lot of times when you have a lot of talent, it's really difficult to isolate where should you start. I know that you're listening to me right now and you're nodding your head because you're thinking, that's my problem, Mia. I don't know where I should start. I don't know what I should package, right? I don't know really what I'm purposed to do, because when you think about it, you're like, I can do 3 things. I want you to understand there's an exercise that I get my clients to go through so that I help them to really be able to figure out what it is that they could lead with. What is it that you do that is your mastery, that when you do that thing specifically, okay, you're able to consistently create exceeding results, because that is what you're purposed to do. And that is what others will pay you for. Are we clear? All right. Are we clear? So today what we're talking about is how to make that transition from working for someone else to working for yourself. And what I've covered already is the first thing we have to get clear on is that we are valuable in terms of our ideas, our talents, our skills, our background, and that, it's what makes you scarce that makes you valuable. So stop trying to look at what everybody else is doing and think about what I mentioned. Number 2 is, what are you purposed to package? What is your mastery? And that is the foundation for all things. It could be your mastery could be around how analytical you are. Your mastery could be around, the way that you solve problems, how you solve them. Your mastery could be around the languaging that you use, or the way that you inform things and step-by-step processes. You'd be surprised. I have clients who have built 6-figure businesses coaching moms, organizing, not just doing some of the things that people have done, gone to school to do. Like, they've just been really great at helping other people live better lives, and they've been purposed in that way. I want you to think about you. So sometimes we are so focused on it being what we see, but I want to ask you this. Maybe, or I want to say this to you, maybe what you're meant to do, it doesn't exist yet because you're meant to be the person to broker that idea. I want you to think about it, right? Sometimes your gifts make room for you, all right? And they're not already here. It's meant for you to put it together. Number 3, if you are looking to package what you do, one of the most important things, if you're starting a business, that separates you from what you're doing in your workplace, and And what I love is being able to control your income. And a lot of women, the reason they go into business is because they want to create options. They want to create, whether it's retirement options, they want to have another income flow, or whether they want to walk away from what they're currently doing and do something different that's profitable. Understanding how to properly price what you do and your expertise is everything. When I tell you the number of women who I speak with who are awesome, they create incredible results for people already. Maybe they're already kind of practicing doing the business. And I say practicing because they're not standing in their value. They're not charging what they should be charging, kind of afraid to do that. And they're taking all the business that they can get because they don't want to offend anyone. And maybe you run a business like that. And if you are, I know you probably laughed out loud. I got you. All right. I understand. But pricing in your business, to me, pricing is the exchange for your mastery. So when you price properly, it's because you can create results for someone. But the only way you can sustain your level of giving to clients and touch other people is to be properly compensated. And so many people get this part twisted in their minds. Like it's just twisted in their minds because they have been taught not to stand in their value, or they have never in their lifetime ever established their own value. And let me go deeper. In your workplace, you had a salary, right? And there was the range. And so typically people who have been, in their careers for years have had some kind of scale that they've used that scale to determine where they should be. But it doesn't mean that is where you should be pricing what you're doing. So let me explain. I have clients who come to me and let's say we're a physician and are charging their consulting fee is $175 or $200 per hour to consult and work with their clients. And when they start their own business, they don't know how to divorce themselves from those pricing models. And maybe that is you. But I want you to understand that in your business, it operates completely differently. People are paying you for the sum of the transformations that you bring to the table. They're not paying you for your time. Does that make sense? So I always tell my clients, like, the reality is that they can never properly compensate me for what I do for them. I have so many clients who, when I met them, didn't have a niche, didn't have a product, didn't have a service, didn't know what the offer was, didn't know how to price it, didn't know how to sell it, didn't know how to market it. And as a result of the work we've done, they've been able to sell what they've done for, $5,000 or more per client, or $10,000 or more, $50,000 or more, $100,000 or more. Many of them have gone on to $500,000 or more. And the reality is that they paid me a fee, a great fee, which honored my giftedness. I couldn't give it to them for free because they want to do the thing that I taught them for the rest of their life. And the same is true with you. The people who are working with you, they're not going to just make the changes that you're teaching them to do one time. They're going to do it over and over and over again. So the pricing is so important. And also pricing allows you to work with the right person. Like when you work with the right person, they come ready. They come investment minded ready. They are people who want results. And I will say in my business, I work with women who want the full solution. They often write me every day, pretty much, DM me, Mia, I'm ready. What do you have? How can you help me package this, sell this in this period of time? Mia, how can you show me how to sell to someone, or how to put my offer together in a more succinct way? What does the investment look like? You want to price what you're doing to fully value your full solution. And you want to attract people who want the results. That's why the packaging is everything. I hope that this really supports you. Is this helping you? If this is helping you, I want you to write, I'm getting this. Okay. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm getting this. All right. Number 4. Okay. The fourth thing that's really important and to understand is when you want to make that transition from working for someone else to going to work for yourself, is getting the word out. And because a lot of times it's like, I'm new, right? Like nobody knows me. And a lot of times when people are currently working This is something I hear all the time. Hi, Lori. I'm so glad you're here. A lot of times when they're currently working, they are afraid of what other people are going to think about them. Meaning, it could be they're afraid what their current workplace might think, or what their coworkers might think, or they are afraid of what other people, their friends, might think because they already have a career, they already have a title, they already have a history and record of success. So it's sometimes when it comes to getting the word out, and I know I just called you out, when it comes to getting the word out, we don't get the word out the way that we should because we are afraid of what other people think, right? Okay. But getting the word out is essential when you're in business. And there are many different ways to do it. And you don't have to necessarily go on Facebook or blog or podcast and do all of those things. There are more direct methods to bring your ideal clients to you. And I'll tell you this because I always think this is one of the things really cool about how I started my business. When I started my business over 25 years ago, Twitter was a thing, okay? And that was it. So there was none of this Facebook Live, all of these things. And I think Twitter was like 20 some characters, whatever it was. And that's how I filled all of my coaching programs, like literally from that. There was no blogging was a thing, but it wasn't my thing. And I developed methods that attracted my audience so that they would come to me. And so I've always worked for 25 plus years before work from anywhere was a term from the comfort of my home. And all of my clients always reached out to me from online methods. There are many different ways to get the word out. So if you've been afraid to market because you think you have to market in a way that's not congruent with you, then that's not true. There are many different ways. And you just need to have a mentor that shows you what are the ways that work for you. Also, getting the word out is also, in my opinion, about knowing how to properly vet the right client. So sometimes we are in the business of everyone, okay. And the reality is that what you're purposed to do is not for everyone, okay. I'm an amazing coach, right, for smart, sharp women who are already action-oriented, people who are already investment minded, people who've already done significant things, whether it's a soft skill or hard skill. They have the habits of doing the work. I'm great for that person. But I'm not really a great coach for people who are not motivated. Okay. People who don't have the esteem to know, like, this is what's great about what I know how to do. Does that make sense? So I'm really not for everyone, and you're not for everyone either. And sometimes the reason, if you're already in business, that your business isn't working is because you've been trying to cast the widest net ever, believing that you are going to somehow find the right clients that way. And I'll tell you, you will not find the right clients that way. You want people who are looking for you, and you want to be very specific with the people that you're meant to serve, and you want them to understand what your purpose is and how you can solve their problem at the highest and tallest level. And the reason I say that is because solving the problem at the highest level is the thing that separates you. Okay. And it means owning what I call your bigness. It means owning what is great about you. It means owning the thing that you know, like the back of your hand, the results that you can create. When we're selling high ticket, which is what I teach my clients how to do, that's selling things typically for $2,500 or more. Most of my clients sell things for $5,000 or more. Your clients are coming to you because they want results. And so you want the word that gets out about you around the results that you can create, not about the clients that you can accumulate. You guys want me to say that again? That kind of rhymed, right? It's really good. Okay. So it's not about accumulating people. So I was never about that in my marketing. That's why we have hundreds of testimonials from folks that I've worked with, multiple hundreds, who say, as a result of working with me, what kind of result that they've got. I'm just not in the business of collecting people. I'm in the business of being able to take my mastery and help other people stand on my shoulders and get to where they want to get to quicker, faster, sooner, which is packaging their products, right? Their ideas into high value products, showing them how to properly price what they do, and showing them how to market to get in front of the right audience, and then showing them what to say and what to do when you do have the right audience in front of you, right? Which is so important. Getting the word out is important. And that means that it all starts with the right offer, because if you got the wrong offer, you're not going to get the kind of results for the client that are the most high value. And so you're not going to be known for what it is that you do exceptionally well. Are we clear? Okay. Are we clear? I just want to check in for a minute. If we're clear, I want you to write, we're clear. What I'm talking about today is how to make that transition from working for someone else to working for yourself. And it's something that I know a lot about, that I know a lot about it personally. It's something that I've also supported tons of my clients in being able to make that exact transition as a result of the coaching and mentorship and consulting that I've done with them. And it requires a couple things. One is for you to know how to value all that you're bringing to the table. Like this idea of saying, I'm starting this little business, or I'm going to see how this is going to start, or I'm going to do this as a side hustle. You ever seen anyone create multi-millions of dollars talking about their intent was to build a side hustle business? Come on. All right. It starts with a big vision, you owning what it is that's great about you. And then 2, packaging your purpose. Really thinking about what is my mastery, and I'm going to package it as a full solution for my ideal clients. Number 3, pricing to fully value the results that you bring. And see, you'll feel good about pricing what you're doing, because you're only selling the thing that you do exceptionally well, right? And sometimes we need some help to extract that. I'm here for that. If you need that support, you can reach out. You can DM us at the end of this live, okay? And getting the word out. And I think getting the word out is like the echo, right? Like if you're good at what you do, then, and you're focusing on your mastery, your client's going to get results. And when they do, they're going to tell the full story. And that means that competition is irrelevant. You know, there's so many people that focus on building their businesses and they believe that there's a small subset, a small pool of people to pull from. It's just not true. If you're great at what you do, people are going to line up to want to work with you. I'm a witness to this, okay? They're going to reach out to you all the time. And that's what the kind of business that you're looking to build. And that's the kind of package structure that you want to have, right? So that you're working with the right people from the beginning, all right? And then number 5, right? Asking for the sale. When you're in business for yourself and you're coming from an employee mindset, a lot of times you're not used to asking for the sale, because that's not what happens in our workplace, right? So most often, most of my clients, 90% of them, they need some support around what do I say when someone says yes, or someone says I'm interested. And I can tell you, having listened to hundreds of calls from clients over the years, that a lot of times the things that they think they're saying that are the right things for their ideal clients, they're the wrong things. A lot of my clients, when I first started working with them and they had no sales experience, and they just would get on the phone and talk to someone and tell me that they were having amazing sales calls, in hearing their recordings, I could say, like, you just like totally coached this person on the call. Okay, you know, like the reason that they didn't buy from you is because you gave this person everything you had, and unfortunately it wasn't everything, but it appeared to be the case. And maybe you're doing the same thing. I will tell you that making that transition from employee to running your own business requires you to get some sales training, period. And selling to me is serving. Selling to me is being certain around the value that you bring and what your offer is, and that person being certain that it is for them. And if you don't know how to have conversations that I think are strategic and consistent sales conversations, you got to invest in that. Sales and marketing are one of the biggest areas in any business. And I will tell you, without great marketing, I don't get to be an amazing coach. You don't get to be amazing at what you do, because if you don't have clients in front of you, you don't get to do what you want to do. But that also goes hand in hand with your sales, all right? And knowing what to say and knowing how to overcome objections. And if you're like, no, you know, I think I know what I'm doing, I tell you firmly that practicing on the client is like the worst business model in the world. Yeah, I said it. Okay. So the truth of the matter is, if you're in business and you're serious about hitting 6 figures or more this year, or having 6-figure plus months, you need to work with someone that can help you fine tune you. Okay. And even if you are making sales, the question is, Are you making at least 30% of the people that you talk to? Are you closing at least 30% of them? And can we get you to a goal where you're at 50%, where you're at 60%, and you understand how you can grow in your sales process in a very feminine way, being yourself? Okay. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not like a real salesy person. I love to sell. I'm not a salesy person, but I also understand that if I don't know how to sell and close in my business, then revenue doesn't come in. All right. And you have to understand that too. And there's a difference when you're working for someone else and working for yourself of how to have a strategic and systematic sales conversation. Your business deserves that. And if your business doesn't have that and you're in business right now and you find like they loved what I had, it seemed like they were with me. And then when you send over your proposals, it's not happening. I promise you, it's what you're saying. I already know. Listen, I already told you, right? So what I wanted to talk with you about today, this is a conversation, me and you, right? Okay. Is how to make that transition from working for someone else to working for yourself. And we covered 5 simple things that I think are really important. If you're over the next 6 months, we've got 6 months, you want to be able to hit your goals, exceed your goals. If you want to, in a systematic way, be able to say, like, that is working. And I know it's working because I have a system for these things, in opposed to, pulling it together or bootlegging some strategy that's not really for you. Okay. Packaging what you do from the highest level is your responsibility for your gifts. It's how you protect them. It's how you take care of them. And it's how you get yourself out of the business of undervaluing and undercharging for what it is that you know how to do. I want to open the floor. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer any questions that you might have on the floor about any aspect of what I've talked about today. Making that transition, making the emotional transition of going from working for someone else to working for yourself. How have you felt? What's been your biggest fear? What have been your greatest questions around understanding around, are you really standing in your value? Are you really looking at yourself with wholeness of what you bring to this entrepreneurial place? Or are you kind of taking a sleeve, like saying, I'm just getting started, and acting like you're a beginner when you're not? You got 10 years, 20 years, 30 years or more of experience. Are you really owning that? Number 2 is packaging your purpose. Are you in position to offer the thing to this world that's your full solution, that's your result? Do you know what it is? Do you need some support in understanding how to pull that out? And I a lot of times we call it a niche, but it's not really just a niche. It really is your knowing. It's the thing that you do, that you just do it in a way that's different than how everybody else does it. So it just stands out. And you have an ability to create that result over and over and over again. Pricing, making sure you understand how to value the results that you bring to people. It's your responsibility to be able to know what those are and to be able to communicate those. And the reason that most people have low prices is because, quite frankly, they don't know what it is that they're doing for others. I just called you out. Okay. All right. Come on. We can get this right. Head up, chin up. All right. And 4, getting the word out, telling the truth, right? Building a structure that allows you to be positioned so you're the obvious choice. And when you do that, competition is irrelevant. I can tell you right now, even from doing this live right now, there'll be people who will reach out to me from this. They'll DM me and they'll sign up. They'll say, Mia, how can I work with you? Because that's what happens when you show up 100% as yourself, not as a version of anyone else, and you share what your mastery is, what it is that you do. Okay. There are people who are looking for you right now. And are you ready to get in front of them? I'm going to post a link here. Let me grab it real quick. And this is a link to book a strategy session with us if you want support around packaging, pricing, positioning, or understanding how to set up your buyer process. And number 5 is asking for the sale. If you don't have a process, know how to ask for the sale. Listen, those are things that if you're in business, why would you practice on the client? That makes no sense, right? Like I look, okay. So, investing in that, in yourself, in your company, is everything. And you deserve that and so much more. I hope that there's something that I've said that shook your shoulders a little bit, and that made you think, I need to do something different. If I can support you in any way, you can DM us. You can use the link that I posted here to book a breakthrough session with us. It's about 30 minutes. It's our opportunity to be able to support you with figuring out for you, what are the gaps, what's in the way of you being able to package and sell what you do for high ticket. I've coached thousands of women over the last 26 years. And, one of the things I love is that I'm purposed to do the work. So it's what I do, what I love to do. And I want you to do what you love to do. I want that for you. Last call, any questions, any comments that anyone had? Did you guys get value today? Or did you get value? I hope that you are writing, I got value. And for those of you who are watching the replay, I look forward to your comments as well. I'm going to post a video at the end, so stay watching till the end. It's of my master training. It's called the Giant Experience Master Training. And again, hundreds of women who were not packaged, had no product, didn't know how to sell what they were doing for high ticket, have attended that master training, and their lives have changed. Stay tuned till the end and watch the Giant Experience Master Training. It's been an honor for me to be able to support you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live, okay? And if you're not following me, follow me. All right, follow me right now. All right, I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great and amazing rest of your day, all right? Love you.